Fine. So today is day one. Okay, I'll start with the brief introduction of Selenium, that how Selenium got evolved over a period of time, and where will it go, where it is heading to, and what is the demand in the market and all everything. Then I will start off with the course. Okay, many of you might not find this thing too relevant on the first day. Okay, but yes, it's a very important thing to give you an idea that what you are falling for. Okay, so look, the thing is, Selenium as a tool, it's open source tool, most of you might be knowing that, and Selenium is a tool which is only meant for browsers. That means only web application testing. Okay, you cannot actually test a Windows based application with Selenium. Fine, it's a very old tool. People think it's a new tool, but it's not the case. It's a very old tool. Like when I first worked on it around nearly 10 years back, I worked on Selenium. We had 3 components in it. Okay, one was known as Selenium RC, one is known as Selenium IDE, one is known as GRID. Okay, right. So look, IDE, I'll talk about IDE, is a tool which is a plugin in the Firefox browser. I think some of you might have seen that, but it's not a tool which, it's primarily a record and run tool, and record and run is not done today. While we practically automate the applications, we never use record and run. Record and run feature is there in every automation tool. You take up UFT as well, or QTP, that's there inside it as well, but you cannot record and run an application like bbc.com or cnn.com, a news website on which the complete content is changing every day. So you cannot just record and run it. You have to have a robust dynamic system which can actually run it for you. Fine. Moreover, IDE is a tool which only works on Mozilla, and it will generate no report for you. No reports are generated, nothing. So practically we cannot use it if the website is huge. If it's big and you have got thousands of test cases, you cannot work with IDE. It's just a very simple tool. Fine. What we used to do was, we used to work with Selenium RC. Now Selenium RC is a tool which could work with multiple browsers like IE, Chrome and Firefox and all. Okay, and it could generate reports as well. Okay, test reports. Fine. And the only thing is that the tester had to learn a programming language like Java, C#, Ruby, Python. There were many languages it was supporting, Perl. Okay, so it was a difficult thing for a tester to learn these languages, but there is no other option. Now RC had lot of drawbacks as well. Okay, I am talking about the era of 2008, 9, 10 and all. Okay, people used to use RC and it had lot of drawbacks. Fine. Like for example, there used to be a server in RC. Okay, and people used to start that server, and sometimes it never used to get started, so you ended up restarting your machine and something, right? So it used to be a pain. Fine. And GRID, if I talk about GRID is something which helps you to run the tests parallelly. If you have a single machine, fine, you can make that machine as a central hub, connect different machines to it, and run your Selenium RC test cases parallelly on GRID. Okay, fine. Most of you might be knowing this, but please bear with me. I have to start from the very basics because there are people over here who don't have an idea. Okay, right. Now, because of these drawbacks which RC had, okay, we came up with the new tool. This tool is known as WebDriver. It came up somewhere in August 2011. Fine. And WebDriver, it also supports multiple browsers. It also generates reports and all, but it has got various advanced commands, or you can say API, right? So it got preferred over RC. Now it was not that RC was migrated to WebDriver. No, this was not the case. Okay, RC is a separate tool, WebDriver is a separate tool. You don't need to know RC in order to learn WebDriver. You can directly learn it. It's very different. People working on WebDriver, when they look at RC code, they are not able to understand. Okay, and today IDE is also there, and GRID has evolved into something known as GRID 2. GRID 2 supports WebDriver. Okay, it is again for the parallel execution of the test cases. So in our course, we will be learning about WebDriver, we will be learning about GRID. Apart from that, there are various other things like Ant, Maven, TestNG and all we will be learning. Okay, IDE we will not look at it because it's not a very complicated tool. You can simply learn it. Fine. So I hope you understood my point. Fine. Nobody has any questions. If anybody has any questions, you can let me know. Okay. Now, where is this tool heading to? Okay. Now, for example, there is one more tool which has come up. That tool is known as Appium. Appium tool, right, is built on top of Selenium. This is Selenium, then this is Appium, the other box. It uses Selenium commands as well. Okay, right, and it is built on top of Selenium. Right, and the demand for this tool will be there in the market and it will keep on growing. Fine. There were people asking me before the class that I mentioned IDE is not powerful tool. Okay, it's a very simple tool. Okay, now if I actually give you an example that how good is Selenium, right? What is the current market demand? That's what people generally ask us when they come to our training, that am I doing the correct thing by learning this tool, and what if it fades away tomorrow? Look, this is an open source tool first of all. Okay, right, you're not paying anybody to learn these tools, and it's a very effective tool, so it is going to stay in the market. Fine. Secondly, if you go to a job website like dice.com, it's a very famous job website in US. Okay, if you compare it with other tools which are there in the market, fine, for example, just hold on, if I just type Selenium over here and I click on find tech jobs, okay, I hope my voice is clearly audible to everyone. There is no disturbance or something. Okay. Okay. So if you search on it, I get around 1300 jobs for Selenium on dice.com. Okay. As compared to say UFT, which is again a tool, right, an automation tool by HP, a very famous one, there are around 500 jobs for this tool. If you go back in time, if you talk about 2011-12, the equation was the opposite. There were around 1500 jobs for UFT and there were around 500 jobs for Selenium. Now the pages have turned. Okay, so obviously you are doing the right thing by learning this. Okay, fine. Now, how do I learn this tool? This is the first question. To learn this tool, you need to learn Java language. There is no running away from Java. Okay, if you go to the official website of Selenium, which is seleniumhq.org, if you visit their website, the first thing which it tells you is that Selenium automates browsers. Right, if you go to the download section, fine, if you know Selenium, you can do Appium. There's a question being asked that if I know Selenium, can I do Appium? Yes, you can learn Appium if you know Selenium. You cannot learn it directly. Okay, look, learning this tool has its own advantage. The advantage is that you get a knack in programming, which is the most biggest thing for a tester. Okay, for a tester, learning Selenium is not a challenge, learning Java is a challenge. If you learn Selenium, you learn Java, you get a knack in programming, it becomes easy to learn other things then, like Appium, or even if you open QTP to learn QTP or a UFT, they call it UFT, you can learn it very easily, you will be able to grasp things. If you want to learn SOAP UI for web services testing, then also it becomes very easy if you learn Selenium to learn these tools. You want to learn JMeter or you want to learn Load Runner. So all these tools, they require programming language knowledge, object oriented programming and all. So that helps a lot. Okay, so there is no running away from programming. I have seen many people getting scared from it. You cannot do it like that. You have to jump and you have to learn it. Okay, right, the advantage I have shown, learning other tools will become an easy process. Okay, now if you go to the website under the download section, you will see a link over here, Java Docs. Fine, you click on this link. This is the official documentation of Selenium. Fine. Okay, you will not be able to understand it. To understand it, you need to actually learn object oriented programming. Fine. So my primary task, okay, in this class is to help you learn object oriented programming. Okay, if you look at the course details, fine, these are simple things, but over here I have started with OOPS, because without starting with the object oriented programming, I cannot teach you the basics of drivers and Selenium and all everything. Okay, fine. Now jumping over to Java, almost everyone has got Java installed on their machine. Fine. Look, this class might look a very simple class to many of you. To many of you it might not look like a simple class, but I want to start from the basics. Okay, the first thing is you need to install JDK. If you have JRE installed, you need to install this JDK as well. Right, you will get the first link on the Oracle website. Okay, go over here and from here click on download JDK. Fine, and just install JDK for the operating system which you want. Okay, fine. So now after installing JDK, you need to download Eclipse. Okay, just please make sure you accept the terms and conditions over here, otherwise you get problems, right? You write download Eclipse. Eclipse is the editor for Java language. Almost everybody would be knowing about this. Okay, you can download Eclipse Luna, which is this one. Okay, go to this link and simply go and click on the download button over here and you can download. Okay, now Eclipse comes as a bundle. Fine, make sure you have got JDK installed. Okay, this is my Eclipse. When I open it, when you extract the zip file, you will get files like this. You need to click on this exe file and your Eclipse will start up. Okay, you want this URL. This is the URL on the chat on which you can install Eclipse. Okay, so not install, simply download and get started on Eclipse. So when you start Eclipse, okay, you have this window, select a workspace, and this is the workspace path. Okay, and you can keep the, for example, I will give the workspace path as June 2016 weekend. So this is the place where we will be storing all the code in this particular class. Fine. Meanwhile, if anybody is having any questions, please let me know. Should I need to copy the code, whatever you did? No, I will give you the code and all. Whatever code I am giving you, it will be there in your account. Okay. Yes, download JDK and Eclipse Luna. That's it. And you can get your work started. Right. Okay, simply download and install it. I am recording this video, you will get the recorded video as well. Fine. Now this is the welcome screen. You can simply close this screen. right? If you are having Mars installed, it's okay, it's fine, right? Now this is the welcome screen of Eclipse, right? And out here, this is the place where we will be storing the projects. We will be writing the code over here, and at the bottom of this page we will get the output. Okay, fine. Now how do you start working with Eclipse? Look, I am assuming you have a basic programming background. You know what if statement is, for loop, while loops and functions and all. My main objective is to start with object oriented programming. Fine, right? Now what I'll do is that I will paste the questions which everybody has over here. For example, when you post questions, please address it to everyone. You will see a drop down in the chat. When you post questions over there in the chat, just address it to everyone so that everybody is able to see it, right? Okay, so now out here, let's make a new project. Okay, go to file, new project, and under out here under Java you will see Java project. Okay, fine, click on next and give that project a day, not like day 1, a name. Fine, and that's it, finish. So you will see a, click on yes and switch to that perspective. You will see a folder known as day 1 over here. When you expand it, you get few things like source and GRE system library. That's fine. GRE system library, this is actually Java which is installed on your machine. Okay, this is Java which is installed. You will write all the code and all everything in the source folder. Okay, let me just make a new sample class over here, sample.java. Fine, and right, this is a class, right? Let me just increase the font size. Okay, I hope this will be very clear to you. Fine, now this is a simple Java class. Okay, what is this public, what is this static, all these things will be clear to you once we study object oriented programming. So just be with me. This is the main function which is there in every programming language. Even if you learn C, okay, the control comes up in this function when you run for the first time. If you want to print something in Java, the command is system.out.println, right? The shortcut is you type syso and then hit control plus spacebar. Okay, fine. So to run this program, you can right click over here on the Java file and select run as Java application. Fine. So at the bottom you will see the output. Okay, it will be written hello. Fine. Now out here, as I said, I am assuming you know what integer is, what a string is. Fine. Okay, you know what a for loop is, right? So everything you must be knowing. Now if you right click on this project, fine, you will see the properties option. Okay, and you will see all these options over here. If you go to properties, one of the options is Java build path. Okay, we'll be using this a lot. Fine, just I'm telling you for your reference. Okay, if you go to resource, you will see the path on your hard drive where the project is lying. Okay, if I open this project, okay, you will see the bin folder. Okay, under bin folder you will have sample.class file. What happens is that every Java file which you make, for example I made sample.java file, it will get converted to sample.class file. right? Every Java file gets converted to a class file. Fine. And this class file is an executable file, right? And in a project, when we actually make lots of projects and all, okay, so what we do is that we make lots of Java files. Okay, in a project we make lots of Java files, and corresponding to every Java file there is the class file. Now all those class files which we have in a project, when we have to deliver it to the client, because these are the executable files, these class files, we have to deliver them to the client. Okay, so for example, there is a project in which I get lots of class files, and when I have to deliver these class files to the client, I put all these class files in a single file. That file is known as the jar file, and jar file is delivered to the client. Okay, so a jar file is a collection of many class files which are delivered to the client. Fine. For example, you see this JRE system library which is installed on your machine. Fine. This is got nothing. This is Java which is installed on your machine. Okay, Java is nothing but collection of many jar files. Okay, and each of these jars have got many class files which you can use for your own utility and all, everything. Each of these jars, they have got many class files. Okay, fine. So what you can do is that you can create, or hold on, you can I'll use this file only. Suppose if I write system.out.println new date. Now what is this date and what is new, I will tell you in some time. Okay, right. If I'm writing new date, I'm using date class which is present in one of these jar files. It's an inbuilt file, date.class, which is present in one of these jars. I am importing that date class from those jars into this particular class, and when I run this program, it will print the current date. Okay, along with the complete time. Now I personally never wrote any program for this. I used an inbuilt command in Java which could help me print the current date. And the same thing is in Selenium. In Selenium, everything is inbuilt. Is my voice breaking, guys? Shilpa, check your internet once. It's okay. Shilpa, just check your internet. Fine. So now this is an inbuilt class, and in Selenium also everything is inbuilt. There is no rocket science. Selenium has got its own inbuilt API which I just showed you on the website. Okay, right, I showed you these Java docs. Fine. These Java docs, they explain all the commands of Selenium. You don't have to write or invent anything new. You have to learn the commands, and to learn them you need to understand object oriented programming, right? Okay, for example, now these are the jars for Java. Now you can also download the jar files for Selenium. Okay, in the Selenium website, when you go to the download link, right, you will see that the latest version is 2.53. You click on this download link and you will be able to download the latest version in the zip file for Selenium, right? And this latest version is nothing but it contains jar files which you can include in Eclipse. Look, Selenium has got, or WebDriver has got, no exe file. Okay, WebDriver has no exe files, right? I will just open it, cut it, and Okay, I already have it. Yesterday I got it. So this is the folder when you download Selenium. This is the folder which you get after extracting. This folder has got 2 jar files over here, and there are many jar files under the library section as well. So these jar files are given by people who have made Selenium by ThoughtWorks. ThoughtWorks is the company behind it. It's a jar file, not a war file. Okay, each jar has got lot of classes inside it. You don't need this sources jar. Okay, this is not required. This is the source code of Selenium. Selenium is open source. Anybody can look at the source code. You don't need that. What you need is, you need this jar, and you need the jars under libs. Okay, fine. So you go to Eclipse, right click on the Eclipse folder, go to the properties, right, go to Java build path, and under the library section you will see add external jars. Okay, click on that and go to the place where you had the jar files. Okay, and include the main jar, which is this one, Selenium Java 2.x.jar, whatever is the version, and also include the jars under the library section. Fine, please include all these jars as well, and click on OK. You will get a reference library section generated out here. This reference library section will have all the jar files of Selenium. If you don't see the reference library section, and if you see the jar files just listed like that, you need to be in the Java perspective in Eclipse. Okay, click on this small icon over here. Okay, and select Java from there. You need to be in Java perspective in Eclipse, and then you will see the reference libraries. Okay, right, now your project is Selenium enabled. There is no exe file for Selenium WebDriver. Okay, everything is inbuilt in jar files. For example, if I write over here new Firefox driver, if I write this command, okay, then what happens is that I will import this Firefox driver from one of the jars of Selenium, and when I run it, you will see that a blank Firefox will automatically open. So everything, as I told you, everything is inbuilt. Fine, you just need to understand Java, you need to understand OOPS, and then you can understand Selenium very easily. Okay, right, so right now I'm going towards OOPS, object oriented programming. Fine, and what is OOPS and all, everything I'm going to cover that. Okay, in meanwhile, anybody having any questions, you can let me know. Anyone? Having any questions? Right, no questions, fine. So let's jump to OOPS.